I mean, what are you even looking for?
Madonna, Blondie, Bowie, Beatles, music! We need music!
This is music!
Netflix has a problem on its hands and they know it. After I finished the almost 4-hour, 2-episode second volume of Stranger Things, it is clear they are trying to milk this series for every last drop they can get. This isn't me complaining. Ho, quite contraire. I wish I had even more to watch. While the second volume is clearly a marketing strategy to help retain subscribers, it was a bold strategy that paid off. It rewarded the viewer with 2 very long, very strong episodes of nostalgic greatness. One thing that I am certain of, Stranger Things Season 4 has restored my hope for the series and increased my expectations for the final season. Things waste no time kicking into gear with Nancy in Transland, where Voldemort Freddy Krueger Henry I Vecna is giving her a glimpse of Hawkins' near future. Before conveniently releasing her, Vecna then shows Nancy that after he makes his 4th kill, the final gate would open, essentially bringing the Upside Down into our world and creating an Armageddon of sorts. Max still blasting Kate Bush into her ear holes is seemingly Voldemort Freddy Krueger Henry I Vecna's #1 target, as her death will put this manifestation into place and open the 4th and final gate. This makes for her being great bait, and she willingly offers herself up as such. After Nancy relays this information to the gang, they hatch a plan to potentially delay or best case scenario, kill Vecna. The plan is this: Steve, Robin, Eddie, Dustin, and Nancy will pay the Upside Down another visit and distract Vecna while he is distracted in Transland with Max. In the meantime, Lucas, Erica, and Max head to the Creel house where Max stops her Walkman in order to coerce Vecna back to giving chase to Max. Elle, once again as powerful as Jean Grey, is able to catch on to this plan as she goes back to see what her friends are up to using her mad skills. Brenner lets Elle know that her friends are in terrible danger, and that when he kills his victims, he is able to absorb their abilities and grow in strength. Thus, the brutal nature of his moitas. Paul Reiser's character Owens. Side note, Paul Reiser is having a bit of a career renaissance these days, eh? Anyway, Owens thinks Eleven should go back to Hawkins, but Brenner disagrees. Brenner, being the snake oil salesman he is, has Owens detained and Elle drugged and collared with an explosive device in the event that she tries to escape. Dissenting, angry military guy shows up soon after, and Full Metal Jacket machine guns the lab. Brenner gets Elle out of the lab, only to see a helicopter full of military man thinking of her as an existential threat. Owens talks to dissenting, angry military guy to say that she is the only hope to destroy the evil plaguing Hawkins. But dissenting, angry military guy dissents and orders a sniper to pop Eleven's head off her shoulders.
Take it.
You son of a bitch! No! You son of a bitch!
When Elle got her powers back, apparently they came back on steroids, as she goes full Dark Phoenix and crashes the sniper copter. We then see Papa dying, for real this time, fingers crossed. Before his death rattle, he deactivates the short-lived Suicide Squad caller so she can go save humanity. He then feeds her some stuff about her being family, but she ain't buying it, and lets him die knowing that he is not forgiven. Conveniently, Mike, Argyle, Will, and Jonathan show up just in time for her to hitch a ride to Indiana to take on the Dark Wizard. Speaking of those miscreants, we get a well-done emotional scene of Will finally giving his elusive painting to Mike and essentially confessing his love for him. The Netflix overlords had to make sure they got that box checked.
That's gay.
But at least the Duffer Brothers were able to play that scene with an emotional subtlety where you really felt Will's pain. That Doja Cat thirst trap was really able to pull off the necessary beats in that scene, and we felt his anguish. Anyway, we go back to Russia to see what Joyce, Murray, Hopper, Russian De Niro, and the drunken Russian saboteur are up to. In a humorous scene, Joyce informs Hopper that he's the hero of Hawkins, and he asks if anyone shows up to his funeral. As the group attempts to break out of prison, they come across a lab of demogorgons who appear to have been used as science experiments. There is also a smoke-like cloud, which is referred to as particles, that is reminiscent of the Mind Flayer in Season 2. As they find a tunnel that leads to and out from the prison, drunken Russian saboteur brings them to their only possible escape route, a non-functioning helicopter that drunken Russian saboteur claims he can fix and get them out of there. Drunken Russian saboteur sabotages the helicopter until Russian De Niro gives him a motivational speech, and drunken Russian saboteur has a change of heart and becomes drunken Russian savior. Russian De Niro also helps Joyce and Hop get in touch with Owens back in the States so they can get home safely. Meanwhile, Dickhead McJustice is busy buying a gun to get revenge on the evil cult of the Hellfire Club, and Eddie, who he is convinced killed Chrissy. No chance this comes into play in the next episode. Hopper and Joyce start to relieve their pent-up sexual frustrations for one another and start to go at it, but not before being interrupted. Russian De Niro puts Hopper in touch with a mysterious woman who informs him of the situation with Elle and Hawkins. After this call, the squad realizes they have to go back into the prison and torch the particles to hopefully affect the hive mind and help Elle as she goes into battle. Once they get back into the prison, all the test tube demogorgons and demo dogs have escaped and killed prisoners and guards. We are then treated to an awesome sequence of events where they go to battle with the demogorgons with swords and flamethrowers until Russian De Niro and drunken Russian savior arrive in the nick of time to escort them out of communist hell. Episode 9, aptly titled The Piggyback, is long, like really long. It's basically watching a Stranger Things movie. Eleven knows Max is in trouble, so she mind travels into Max's head to try to stop Vecna from turning Max into a piece of origami. Unable to stop Vecna from killing Max, she ultimately is able to resurrect her. Max really goes through the ringer this season. The Duffers apparently had discussions about killing her character off, but instead opted to leave her blind and with numerous broken appendages. Lucas and Max have a nice tender moment before Dickhead McJustice shows up and gets into a fight with Lucas while Max is being brutalized by Vecna. In the Upside Down, Eddie gets his moment to shine, and it is metal. They were leading up to this moment from the second he was introduced. A lot of foreshadowing here, and it couldn't have been more epic. It was a metal scene for a metal man who went out in a metal way. He slung his guitar with some juicy riffs, fought like a warrior poet, and died a hero's death. Eddie, you will be missed.
One for me, and one for my homies.
Unfortunately, with Max dying briefly, Vecna's final gate was open, and with it, Dickhead McJustice is split in half like a magic trick gone wrong. It was a wonderful, underappreciated way to kill his character off.
Respect. West Side.
Vecna gets got and bursts into flames only to Michael Myers his way out of Season 4. In the aftermath, the squad joins Lucas in the hospital to check in to see how Max is doing. Can't wait to see how she is in Season 5. We get some nice scenes in this volume. We have Steve admitting to Nancy that she is the one who got away. Max admits that her happy memory included Lucas, and Argyle is high.
Oh, that's all right, my dude. We're not here for your tasty pies. You see this weird girl behind me? She needs a tub with a bunch of salt so we can enhance her psychic powers so she can save the world from this super bad dude. But to make this salty tub, we require your kitchen.
Not in that particular order, but hey, it's a long-ass episode. As the episode comes to a close, Will senses Vecna's presence, and we see Hawkins begin its transition into the Upside Down. Anyone notice Will's nose bleeding at the end? Does this dude have some of them mutant powers now? How will this show end? How long must we wait? Overall, this was a suitably epic conclusion which was able to balance triumph with tragedy and set up what we can only hope is an even more epic finale. I hope the show doesn't get the Game of Thrones treatment and piss on our heads with disappointment. They still haven't addressed the time travel aspect, which was alluded to in the first volume of Season 4, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes into play in Season 5. The actors, young and old, brought their A-game here. The writing, directing, and effects were top-notch, and the music really brings it all together. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll need an antacid to ward off the reflux caused by the anxiety-induced finale. I give this volume an 8.5. What do you guys think? Did the Duffers instill confidence in a strong ending? Or do you think they'll mess it up like Lost or Game of Thrones? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this far. If you like my content, who doesn't? Watch more. If you don't, well, I guess I'll just say good afternoon, good evening, and
Good night.
Yeah.
You suck, you jackass.